Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the Influential Women Podcast. I have the budgeteer herself, Miss Rebecca Diaz, here today. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you. You know, you've got a lot going on. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I don't think that I'm that interesting. There's not that many things to tell. I mean, I work at Legacy Bank. I've been there since 2013. I just opened a new branch, so that's pretty darned exciting.
So would that make you a branch manager?
A branch manager and a vice president, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I just turned 37.
You go, girl.
Thank you.
Was that always a dream of yours to be in the banking industry?
No, I really wanted to, and I still do. I still have dreams, but I wanted to own a storage facility and a McDonald's.
Big dreamer.
That was my childhood dream, and I'm not giving up on my dreams yet.
You're not giving up. So, well, maybe, I think there's storage right behind your branch, isn't there?
There is. Maybe they'll need to sell someday.
Right, and maybe you come across this amazing property that undergoes and you know how to get that deal. And
maybe. I know some people that can do some financing.
Right? So how did you get into the banking world?
I really just kind of stumbled into it. I went to school at CSU Pueblo.
Go Pack.
Yep. And I graduated from there with 2006, December 2006, with my bachelor's in business management with an emphasis in marketing. And I had all of these grand ambitions to leave Pueblo and do these big, exciting things and go to a big city. And at the time, I just needed money because when you graduate from college, you don't have any money. So what's the first thing you do? You get jobs. So I got lots and lots of jobs. I worked in restaurants and I worked at, I was a personal assistant for a lot of people. And I worked as a front desk person on the weekends for a real estate agency in town. So I was doing all of these miscellaneous things and I was making really good money, but I was working 70 to 80 hours per week. I got a lot of experience and I met a lot of wonderful people. And then...
Are you from Pueblo?
I'm not originally, no, but I've been here since 96. My mom and I moved here from Texas.
Oh,
yeah.
Giddy up.
Yep.
Is your mama still here?
She is. She's out in Pueblo West.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's still close by.
So what high school did you go to?
East. Go Eagles.
How did I never know this question? See, that's what this podcast is for, because I get asked those questions, things like you should know, but I don't know.
How long have we known each other? 8 years?
8 years. So how did we first meet?
Junior League of Pueblo.
Junior League of Pueblo. So
Yep.
Junior League is a women's organization that comes together through volunteerism, helping children and youth and stuff and whatnot in our community. And we were in the provisional class.
It was the provisional / now it's new member class.
New member class. And so that's where I first met you. And we had to come up with a task or a good deed.
A project, whatever the project might be.
The project had to be linked to our mission. And we came up with the Monster Dash 5K.
Best thing ever.
Yeah, we did that. And, Rebecca being the bank girl, that's where the budgeteer nickname comes from, because she seriously was like the most organized person. I was like, I don't know how you have time to do that. I didn't get it. So blessed for Junior League and bringing us together, because we've been really good friends since.
Yes. Cheers to that.
Oh, yeah, by the way, cheers.
Cheers.
On Wednesdays, we drink wine. So hopefully you are enjoying a glass of wine with us. And if not, it's not too late to open one up, go to the store. There's no judging on what time it is.
And if you're really lucky, you get a glass big enough that requires 2 hands.
That's right. Hey, you said make sure my cup was full. My glass
follow instructions very well.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm a rule follower. So during Junior League, and then you went on to be treasurer, and you held a lot of positions. And
Yep, I was on the executive board of directors for 5 years total. I served 3 years as the treasurer and 2 years as the secretary.
I tried to be on the board, but I didn't get voted in. It was kind of like a mean girl thing. I kind of got voted out. Remember that?
I don't remember that.
It was like the first time in my life I didn't win at something, and I actually handled it with grace, I feel like, but I didn't win.
Well, I went for presidency 3 times and I did not get it. So
see, and it's okay not to win, because I feel like it's God's plan. Like, you know what? You just had a baby. You don't need to be doing that right now. You need to be a mama. And I was like, no, I can do all the things. And so sometimes when it's not that we lose, it's just the better person gets that position because of timing and what's really meant to be.
I 100% agree with that statement, because looking back on the 3 times that I went, I never went in because it was something that I really, really wanted to do. It's because somebody asked me to
do it.
And I said, okay, sure. And it wasn't my passion to do that at the time. And I had a million other things going on at the time. And I still went in and I gave it my best foot forward. And someone else was selected. And I was so happy for that person every time.
All three times.
All 3 times.
So what advice do you give women for, trying to do something, even if maybe somebody told them they should do it, or maybe somebody was really passionate and it just wasn't, the right fit? What advice do you give somebody?
So on both sides of the coin, I mean, if someone's asking you to do something and you are not passionate about it, I wish I would have done then what I've done since when the same situations have come up, and just be truthful with yourself and what you are able to do and what you want to do, because we have a very finite amount of time in our days and our life, and it should be spent doing things that we are passionate about, and B, things that will bring us joy, bring others joy. We shouldn't be raising our hands for things because of obligation when it's truly not our obligation. There's other people out there that want to do things, and let them do it if they want to do it, because that's possibly their path.
That is great advice, Rebecca.
Oh, thank you. Took me 3 times to get there.
That's all right, but here we are. And now you are a branch manager. You waited several years to get that. So congratulations, first of all, to you. I know how hard you've worked to be there. Like, you started at what position at Legacy Bank?
So I started at Legacy Bank as a customer service representative and a loan processor. And that was a big leap of faith for me, because I had already built up my career at another national bank. I was building my career. I was working my way up. I started as an entry-level teller after college. I was working all those miscellaneous jobs, and I got married, and I decided that I wanted to have a job with benefits and fixed hours, and I could work 40 hours a week and then have...
And you're like a pink. That's perfect.
Yes, and they have benefits. I had a friend who, and this is back when the economy was crashing, so I had a friend that said, hey, I have an inside track. I know of a job that's opening. It'll be great. And I was like, great, what is it? He's like, it's a teller. And when you come out of college and then you manage, I was a restaurant manager and I was assisting all of these executives around town. It was called Bellissimo. It's not around anymore, but it was amazing. It was so good. So when you're doing all those things, then it's like, oh, I could be an entry-level teller. Okay, I have my degree. So it's kind of like this mental thing. It just, you have to check yourself. And I think a lot of people coming out of college have to have that same self-awareness, because you come out of college thinking, I'm going to be a manager. Well, no.
And you are the only woman branch manager, yes?
No. I'm actually now, I'm super proud to say that Legacy Bank in the Pueblo market has all female branch managers.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah. Do you hear that? Oh, yeah, because Terry was out there.
Terry was out in Pueblo West.
I saw her last week at TJ Maxx. Hi, Terry.
I saw her yesterday. Tuesday. We had a branch grand opening in Buena Vista.
I saw that. So congratulations.
Thank you. It's gorgeous. If you're ever in Buena Vista, stop by. Or Buena Vista.
Just call it the BV.
Yeah, that works too. But yeah, there's lots of female representation, so super proud of that.
Well, I'm proud of you, watching you just grow from a teller and then now having your own bank. Like, that is huge. Like, I just want to give you a high five and say, you go, girl.
Thank you. I'm very, very, very blessed for the people that have been in my path along the way to help me get there. And it's such an honor to have a branch, like a brand new branch, a new clientele and a new market, new staff. It's filled with challenges, but it's very exciting. Every day is different. And
awesome.
Yeah, I think it's been part of my path. It took a little bit longer to get here than I thought it would, but it's here and it's amazing.
And why do you think they chose you to be the leader?
I think because I started at the bottom and worked my way up in one organization, so I have that big banking experience. Because prior to getting into a grown-up job, I worked so many places that I knew so many different people, so many different realtors, and just people with different people from different areas in Pueblo. So you add that to the fact that when I started at Legacy, I took a big demotion. I went from being an assistant manager at the second largest Wells Fargo in Southern Colorado at that time, to being basically a teller again at a community bank. And that's a big jump. And I took that leap. It was a leap of faith and it paid off. But having taken that leap, I was able to grow within Legacy as well. So learning the teller role as they do it, learning the loan processing side as they do it, while still keeping my connections. And it allows me to share knowledge with other new people, whether they're already with Legacy just learning a different field, or if they're brand new to banking as well. I think it's a tremendous attribute to have somebody that has gone through all the different levels and learned everything and knows how to share that knowledge with other people.
Absolutely.
And just stays positive, because you can't be so serious all the time.
You're not.
I try not to be, clearly.
So, Rebecca, what is your why?
I knew you were going to ask this because I watched your other podcasts.
Yes, people do watch them.
Yes,
love it.
Yes, we do. I think my why is mainly to leave the situation better than I found it. And the situation isn't just this podcast, because your podcast is great without me, but leaving.
Oh no, it's so much more amazing now that you're here. Cheers to that. Cheers to you finally being here.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
Sorry, we had to, take our little sip. I hope you cheersed with us.
We can make it a drinking game too. But it's just whatever the situation is, whether it's somebody having a bad day and needing someone that they can talk to, having the ability to make somebody smile, having the ability to help somebody having trouble with their business, and give them some guidance, because I've maybe experienced some things with other clients that might help. Whatever it is, in junior league, when I was the treasurer, going in and helping to implement some different things as the treasurer, and then passing it on. And of course, the ball keeps rolling and it gets better and better and better. But I just want to...
You definitely made that better when you were there.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, just that's my goal with the nonprofits that I participate in. I just hope that I can leave a positive impact when I'm gone, so that it makes life better for other people.
I love that.
I think that's it. It's pretty simple. Just
I love that. I think you do that. What's been your favorite nonprofit you've been part of?
The Junior League, for sure. I think that the women that participate in the Junior League of Pueblo, they're amazing. The women that get involved and show up, those are the ones that I've been able to make really long-lasting relationships with, and those are the women that have been there outside of the nonprofit world. Those are the women that show up at the doorstep when something's happening. They're the women that are there to cheer you on when good things are happening. So that, by far, I love the mission, the vision, the values, but it's what you can take away outside of that box, and that's what the Junior League has given me. It's not just a nonprofit where I go to a meeting once a month, which is actually what was promised to me. Michelle, if you're listening.
Michelle who?
It was Mason Gill, now it's Gardner. She promised me one meeting a month. You'll like it. We have wine. One meeting a month. And then she moved away after the first meeting, and I knew nobody. Oh. Not a soul.
No, I knew you.
Not before Junior League.
No, well, no. But
No.
But that's what it's for. So
Yes.
if you're looking for an organization and, you don't really know anybody, Junior League is a good way to just get involved in your community. And it's worldwide. It's just not here in Pueblo, Colorado. So definitely look out to if it sounds like something that you might be passionate about.
Yep. And right now their focus is on basic needs, still children, basic needs for children. And it's always been around the development of women, which is absolutely what it does. So I've been able to take so much away from that personally, professionally, and just with friendships, and learned a lot.
I love it.
Yeah.
Aw. Who's been an influential person in your life?
There are so many that I can't even list off names. I'm very fortunate to have been able to attend a lot of several leadership conferences in person and remotely, and someone that I was introduced to, not in person, it'd be amazing to meet him, was Craig Groeschel, and he is the pastor of the church that hosts the Bible app. I don't know if if
I
you're
have a
familiar with
Bible app. I need to use it more.
Yes.
But I have it.
And it tells you when you use it and when you don't. It's like, good job. And then it resets if you miss a day. It's like, here's day one. Okay. But he's been a speaker at many of the conferences, and he has his own podcast that I listen to. And he has so many great takeaways. And one of them was the phrase, get mo. And it's good enough to move on. So that's been one of my huge lifelong takeaways, because I feel like as a woman, we can get really focused in the details and we want things to be perfect. And
I'm one of those.
Yes. And there's a time and a place for that. But if we get so hung up on making sure that one thing is perfect, what else are we missing around us? But if we can make it good enough to move on, what else can we accomplish? We can take over the world if we're good enough to move on. It's good. Next. Let's go.
I love it.
So, I mean, that's the one that comes to mind, but it's just people that I run into on in my everyday life. I mean, I work with some amazing people, and they have tips and tricks in their daily life that I love to take away from the women in Junior League. Donna Souter, she comes to my mind because there's nothing that she cannot accomplish.
She's a doer.
She is a doer. She wrote her own grant, and in her own grant, she made up a job for herself where she was going to rule the world, and she named her pay. Who does that?
Right.
And the college was like, sure, sounds good. And she's worth it. She does it. She outlined what she was going to do. She did it, and she keeps just going and going and going. So I think she comes to mind, and I had the pleasure of meeting her and creating our friendship through the Junior League.
And I still have to get her here. She is a tough one, being that she wrote that grant. It keeps her too busy to get her butt in here.
She made a really big job description, so she's filling it.
Yeah, I know. But she is amazing.
She's amazing.
I think you and I actually, we had this conversation about Donna, because you and I were filming for this CSU Pueblo Foundation Women's.
It was for the Women's Foundation.
The Women's Foundation. And it was so fun. We got to speak together. I was like, this could be trouble. I'm not sure if you want Rebecca and Jenny to speak, but.
And here we are again.
And we talked about influential women.
Yes.
And Donna was definitely one of those women for her. She's just a powerhouse. When she walks into a room, she's strong, she's passionate, but she's like the best speaker too.
Oh, she is. She's small, but she's mighty. I mean, I feel like I have a foot on her if I'm wearing high heels, but she commands a room.
I think it's that twang. That like Texas Southern kind of twang she's got to her.
Yes. That has to be it. That's it.
I think so. So,
and I had you, so I brought in a list of things because I'm a list maker.
And look what I did with it.
She
pretty much threw it away. I'm like, we're not using a list. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna drink wine. We're just gonna girl talk.
She took my list. But she did see that her name is on the list, because one of the things that I learned from Miss Jenny when we were first in Junior League together was when we were working on the Monster Dash, how to delegate. Because that is something that I think women need to do more of, because it's that perfectionist nature in us. We want to have everything in our own hands, touch and feel it. If I do it, I know it's right. And that's not the way that we can do all the things that we need to do. We need to learn to let things go and delegate. And that's the only way that other people are also going to learn how we want things done and get better.
Absolutely. And I think that makes a strong leader, because a leader can't be in charge of everything. But you have amazing people that are on your team. So delegate. Why not? Let them learn and grow, and that's kind of part of being that leader, is you want people to grow. You want them to be able to, jump in and be in that next position. So thank you.
Thank you.
For the sweet words. You're a queen delegator now, I hope.
Yeah, I just remember you had a microphone once, and somebody was saying, like, Jenny, you're so good at running this. You're like, all I do is boss people around. That's what I do really well. I was like, she's really good at that.
It's the only thing I'm good at. My husband's like, are you done? That's us at home every Wednesday night, because we have the cleaner coming on Thursdays. And I'm like, pick up this. Let's go. Come on, y'all. It's like they hate Wednesday nights because Mom gets pretty bossy.
Did you say that you clean before the cleaner comes in?
No, I don't clean. I pick up.
Okay.
You're judging me. You sound like my husband.
I'm not judging you. I think you don't want the cleaner to judge you.
So you're such a pretty girl. What do you do? What do you do for self-care? And somebody wants to know. I saw on your Facebook post, how do you not get wrinkles? Like, what's your secret? Do you purposely Hold your...
You're not far off.
I use Botox.
So I've only just started to use Botox, and it is God's gift.
There you go. It's not even a secret. There you go. So whoever wanted to know, that's her secret, Botox.
That's a new secret. The old
and
secret
isn't it amazing?
It is amazing. I wish I would have used it earlier as a preventative, but my thing is this is a trademark secret. Don't tell anybody. I try not to move my forehead with pre-Botox. Pre-Botox.
You just moved it.
Well, I know. I try not to.
That was your...
I try not to. In a previous job where when I was working at Wells Fargo and I was a banker, a lot of my closest friends, we all worked at Wells Fargo and in different capacities together. And we had a little secret signal that we would share with each other. We had a signal and it meant fix your face. Because we would have such interesting customers that would come in and share such interesting stories about their personal life sometimes. And, you're talking to somebody about their checking account balance, and then it just takes a hard left and you're somewhere that you never thought you'd be. And, you make some interesting choices with your face. Mm-hmm. It's not like it's like you lose control of it for a minute. And then there's a lovely friend to walk by. So when your eyebrows are up to here and you're getting all those wrinkles.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
That was an old cheerleader in me. Like all the oppressions.
Yes. So when you're doing this all day long, like,
So Botox is queen. Face. I judged the first time I got Botox and then I got it and then I got it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a fan.
You're a fan. What else do you do for self-care?
Oh my gosh, sunscreen. That's a must. Mm-hmm. I'm not much of a self-care person. I'm not big on spas. I don't like manicures. I don't like pedicures. I do like all the DIY stuff. And I'm a firm believer in the face because this is the first thing that people see. It's probably what I spend the most time on taking care of. So again, I wish I would have started Botox a little bit earlier. I started getting fillers now, and I'm a huge advocate for that.
Oh, you got fillers?
Yeah.
I've never been brave enough.
Oh, it's worth it.
Okay.
It's worth it.
And if you need to get a loan out for any of this, Rebecca's your girl.
Just come to my party. I get nice discounts, so we'll get you hooked up. But I like to do all the stuff at home, so that way it's at my own time. You name it, I probably tried it at home.
What's your coolest DIY? DIY. It's not coming out right. Your favorite project.
My favorite one is the at-home spray tan, because you can pay a lot of money to go to a tanning salon and get the spray tan. I wish I hadn't done it, but in high school I went to the tanning booths and I laid
that was
in the bed.
What we did during that day.
It is. Yeah. And there's no fixing the fine lines under the eyes from that damage, because do you think I used the goggles? No.
Nope on a rope?
What?
Nope on a rope?
Nope on a rope. Okay, I like that.
Oh, it's our new saying in the Smith household.
Okay, nope on a rope. Yeah, so that's a hard no. Mm-hmm. So damage was done and you cannot undo that damage, but at least we figured it out. I figured it out in my late teens, early 20s, and now it's just spray tan. But there's something magical about going into your bathroom, spraying yourself down, and coming out bronzed and beautiful.
I've never done that. I might have to
ask
you a little bit more about that.
Highly recommend it.
So you've accomplished a lot, and you've been recognized for a lot of amazing things. So congratulations to you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
What's one of your proudest moments in life where you're like, I've made it?
I think it was when I graduated. So I was very fortunate, very blessed that Legacy selected me to attend the Graduate School of Banking in Colorado, and they paid for my graduate degree for that education. I took it very seriously because it's a financial investment on their part as far as paying for me to attend, but then paying for my room and board and still paying my salary when I'm not at work. So it was a big financial investment. It was 3 summers that I spent doing this, but then at home, during the rest of the year, there were term papers, and oh my gosh, flashback to college and high school and term papers. I forget how to do those things. So it was tough, but again, I took it seriously and I wanted to get the most out of it. So I worked really hard at it. So working full weeks at the bank and then working on the weekends on my projects and my assignment. And I found out at the end of my third summer, I think I found out maybe the day before graduation, that I was in the top 10% and I was going to be graduating with honors.
Wow.
So that was so exciting for me. Thank you. Because the people that attend this, they're from all over the country. They are from community banks all over the nation. There's regulators all over the nation, the FDIC, the state regulators, people from all walks of the field are there. And there's bank presidents. There's people from all levels, all stations. And I just worked really hard. So it was amazing to have that moment where it's like, oh my gosh, I graduated with honors.
Well, good for you. I'm so proud of you. And, along with being proud of your accomplishments, there's a lot of struggles that people don't always see. What's been a struggle that you'd be willing to share that, you've overcame?
I think the most realist struggle is something in personal life. And 2020 wasn't easy for anybody. It was good for some people because some business owners had their best year ever. So there's good with the bad. 2020 was a very difficult year. It's, my husband and I have over 12 years separated and divorced. And that was at a time where it was a very busy time at the bank as well. So, I just went to work and got the job done and helped my clients. And I don't know if everybody knows, but there's this thing called the Payroll Protection Program. It's basically free money for businesses that were impacted by COVID. So we were trying to help so many business owners through that process. And you talk about taking tons of application, and the SBA the Small Business Association was changing things basically every day. So trying to keep up with that while the bank is shut down and people are quarantining and customers can't come in. And how do you do all this? So trying to balance that with my personal struggles was really, really difficult. But it was a really good year. That's the year that my friend showed up for me. That was the year that I've always been very faithful, but 2020 is the year that I leaned in. It was always there. But gosh, when you're able to give thanks for the friend that drops everything, that comes over, leaves their family to be there for you, when you have job security and you can be so thankful for those things, you can get over any challenge.
Absolutely. So good friendships is what helped you. What
Good
advice,
friendships and faith.
because we don't always want to go through a divorce.
Right.
Most of the time we never see that happening.
Yeah.
But it happens more now than ever.
Yeah.
And it wasn't by your choice or anything. What advice would you give to a woman who may be going through the same thing? Because it's not easy.
It's not. You have to be really honest with yourself and with your partner on what if you're going to work on the relationship, what are you both going to work on it, or is it going to be one person? Are you both being honest with wanting to continue that relationship? So it's being honest, and don't sit still. It's so easy to just sit and wait for things to happen. But if they're not happening, then you're going to sit in it forever. Mm-hmm. So take care of yourself. If you have kids, take care of yourself so that way you can take care of your kids, and just be really honest with yourself about the situation. And I was pretty private about it, and it worked well for me. I had just a handful, a very, very small group of people that knew what I was going through, and they were able to help
didn't know. She didn't invite me. I would have dropped everything I had going on with my kids to come bring wine, but that's okay.
You were kind of busy filming a super secret show that was going to be on the Discovery
Channel.
I
still would have dropped that for you, just for the record. But you know what?
you.
I'm glad you're private about it, and you had your group, so you need that.
Everybody does. Everybody has their crew, their very small group, and I think it's important I personally think it's important to keep that really small, because what happens in a marriage is private. Mm-hmm. And if everyone knows your business and then you reconcile with your partner, the rest of the world hasn't reconciled with your partner. Mm-hmm. Only you have. But now everybody knows your business. Mm-hmm. So I think there's something to be said about keeping it private, keeping it off Facebook, because some things should be kept close to the chest, close to the vest, whatever the expression is.
Do you feel like you got to know you again?
100%. I think that I've always organically been myself, but I'm more myself because I'm not thinking about what another person needs to, just not thinking about what another person needs. I get to, especially last year, I got to really think about myself, and my friends showed up and it was like, Rebecca, what do you want to do? Where should we go?
I don't know.
I know. I want to go for a walk. Let's go for a walk. Great. So I was really in shape because I went for a lot of walks because, I mean, let's be real. The world was shut down. So what are your options? But I had some great walks. So yeah, it was really good. It allowed me time to be alone and with myself and with my thoughts, and lots of prayer and guidance and friendships, and work was there. And it just was, it was a good year. It was a hard year, but it was a very good year.
Would you say it's a new you now? So you have new dreams, new bucket lists, new...
I wouldn't say new me, new bucket list, because I've always had the bucket list, but now it's like more gung-ho on doing the bucket list.
Like what? I want to hear about it.
So something that's always been on there is skydiving. It's always been on there. So now it's like, okay, I've got my contacts, I've got my people. Let's like get it on the calendar. Let's do it. Because I'm the only one that has to worry about my schedule. So it's very
You should do it like this month, because it's fall and it'd be really pretty from way up there.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because it's fall, so it's fitting.
Oh, you could take it how you want. We did a hot air balloon ride in Napa, and we did it during the fall, and it was the most beautiful time because, I mean, the colors were insane.
Change. Yeah, that would be amazing.
So to see it from up that high, I was just thinking skydiving. But if you fall, I mean, there's a lot that goes in with it. So skydiving, what else?
There's skydiving. I definitely want to do some more traveling. I think it'd be nice to do one of those fun road trips where you don't really have a set destination and you don't have a timeline, because that's the opposite of how my mind normally works, the list maker. I want to know where I'm going to go, but I want the freedom to say, okay.
So whoever you go with. So sometimes we do this with my kids, and like we'll be on vacation, just get in the minivan, and it's like, hey, this kid picks right or you go left. And you don't know what kind of journey you get into. So we did this like long road trip, and we found this private road, and the gate was, so whoever you go with, just do something like that.
That would be fun. That would be interesting.
Because some of the most random things that aren't planned just turn out to be the most memorable moments.
Yes, I like that. Or maybe like a flip a coin.
Yeah.
Right, left.
I can't wait to see where you go.
I'll make sure
where you end up.
I'll make sure to snap it.
I'm not a snapper. Are you a queen snapper?
How do you become a queen snapper?
I know, but you just said I was going to snap it. So I'm going to go ahead and go with, when you use a phrase like that, that means you're a queen snapper, because that's not the first thing that popped into my head.
I do like Snapchat. I think it's fun. And those filters, oh my gosh.
The filters are fun.
Yeah, the filters are amazing. You find a good filter, it's like, okay.
All right, so add Rebecca onto your Snap or Snapchat. I'm not a snapper.
Our Dizzle 08.
Why our Dizzle?
Why not?
Oh. What's been some of the best advice you've got? We're going to move on.
Some of the best advice I've gotten. Gosh, I don't know. I feel like I'm so open to advice, and I get so much good advice. I'm trying to think, like, what is something that someone told me that, I don't know. Remember to floss every day.
Oh, you're a flosser every day?
I am now. It's been good advice.
So good. That is good advice.
Thank you to my dental hygienist. Those don't work for me. They are too aggressive.
Oh.
I have a small mouth and lots of teeth.
You do have lots of teeth. I have a small mouth and lots of teeth.
So with those little picker things, it just hurts. So
yeah. I feel that way about floss. But you have to floss.
You have to floss. So that's the best advice that I've gotten in the recent times.
Okay.
Because it is solid advice.
Always. What's your favorite color?
I love the color black, but I'm trying to branch out and be more colorful.
Oh,
Hence green today with black.
Yeah, but it's very fall.
Thank you.
I know. It's like I need to change my flower wall to match the season because it's like I'll start wearing all the fall colors.
Yeah.
And then it's
And
like.
it just clashes
Well,
with
my
the
orange
pink.
doesn't really go with the pink. But then those were my wedding colors, so maybe they do go.
They do go.
Yeah.
Orange is the new pink,
But
don't
I
you
do
know?
love, like, colors make me happy.
Yes.
And it kind of like sets my mood too for the day. Like if
Does it?
I'm going to have a bad day or not going to have a bad day, like just wake up extra tired or something, I'll put a bright color on because it
To
just
make you
makes
happy.
me like, all right, giddy up.
You know who else is like that?
Who?
Midori Clark.
Oh, I love
Her-
Midori.
I've never seen her closet, but that is something on my bucket list because I want to see her closet.
Me too. So she orders out of this magazine because I'm always like, where'd you get that outfit? So it's always that, I think it's like Boston Proper or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So, but she was Matchy Matcherson.
Yeah. So for anybody that doesn't know, she has the most out loud outfits. She wears what brings her joy, and it is not a quiet joy. It is a loud joy for everyone to see and hear and share in. And I appreciate that. And I want her bedazzled cowgirl boots.
Well, she would do that every year for Fair Ladies.
I know.
One
want
year
it.
they'd be lime green. One year they'd be pink.
I want them in my life.
I'm just glad I have you in my life. You're a good
Same.
human.
Oh, thank you.
3 words that best describe you.
Not so serious. I think life is too serious and everyone just needs to take a breath, take a step back, and laugh. Like, I think that is so important. It's too short.
So fun.
Fun, okay. Oh, so you want one word, 3 separate words.
3 words that best describe you.
Oh, okay. So fun.
Or not boring. However you want to go about it.
Okay, so fun, determined, and faithful. I think I'm faithful to my religion, to God. I'm faithful to my friends. I'm faithful to my employer. I'm just a faithful person. So I guess loyal would also work, but I like faithful better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially after the last year you've had.
Yeah.
I'm sure you relied a lot on faith. And so right now, that
So much
word
more.
it makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a very, very good year. It was a year with tons of growth. Tons of growth. So
And so 2021 is probably the year of like a boss, I would say.
2021 is about playing catch up because with tons of, oh my gosh, with as crazy as last year was, I know everyone just had the mindset like, okay, after New Year's 2021, everything's just going to calm down and we'll play catch up. And that's not how life works. Like the world doesn't care about a day.
Right.
It doesn't care that we switched calendars. So it was still really busy running into 2021. And now I feel like just kind of at a place where I've got a good team around me as far as work goes, and I can get back to growing in my career as well and helping my customers more one-on-one and also get more involved in the community because that's something that I intentionally stepped away from. I took a little break for a while when my
You
branch...
said no.
I said no. And
Which
you
is
have,
so hard for somebody like you.
It is. You have to be able to say no when you cannot do something. It's worse to say yes and do a bad job than to say no and allow someone else the opportunity to come in and do a better job.
So what's 2022? What's that the year of?
Oh my gosh, 2022.
Give me a one-word phrase. Because that's what I tried to do. Like, so this year is my year of challenge.
Okay.
I'm challenging. I'm trying to step
Okay.
myself outside that box. I'm doing a
Okay.
podcast. It scared the shit out of me. I'm not going to lie. But now I'm loving it,
Yeah.
doing those things.
Yeah. Gosh, 2022 is going to be the year of leveling up. Yeah. I think it's a place, I think by next year, everything is going to be in place and it's just about getting it to the next level. Like, what can I do better? How can I make my team around me better? Because they're already going to be good, but how can I make them better and help them grow in their career? I've joined a couple of new boards in the community, so I'm excited to.
But you're what?
The Sangre de Cristo Art Center board and the PCC Foundation board.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I was talking with Phyllis Zamora earlier today about how can I participate with the Greater Chamber of Commerce.
This weekend, do you want to help me bartend?
I talked with her about that, so I'm going to give her a call. Yeah.
No, I have the schedule on what's needed. So after
Well, all right.
this,
Okay.
maybe we'll get together and we'll bartend together, and that'll make Meg really happy.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, I'm
Deal.
so excited. We've got the chili festival this weekend.
Yes.
Do you eat the green chili?
I like the raw green chili or green chili.
Both.
So green chili all day, every day. Yeah. And I have green chili that I like to put on my eggs, on toast, everything. I'm a little weenie when it comes to like just eating the raw chilies. They have to be roasted, and then they're delicious.
Right.
So
because inside they still have
the seeds and
the vein.
Yeah.
The vein is what's hot.
And I like that. Just when it's like the people that are super brave and they just have the raw chili, they like, no, that's not me.
We actually did that with Grant Cardone on the Discovery Channel.
Did you? I didn't see that one. I'll have to watch it. Did you cry?
No, I'm tough. I'm like the brownest white girl you will ever meet. It's a true story. I'm the same way. I like
true statement.
I like green chili and everything. What's
On
your favorite holiday?
It used to be my least favorite, and now it's my favorite for a variety of reasons, but Christmas. So I used to really dislike it because it's so commercial and there's all of these expectations. And now it's my absolute favorite because I'm going to go back to Midori Clark. I went to her house for a holiday party once with the junior league, and every room had a tree, and they were all different. I was like, oh my gosh, you could do this. She's like, yeah, whatever tree makes me happy.
Brings you joy.
These trees bring me joy. I was like, oh my gosh, I want a tree that brings me joy, not just like the big traditional one. So I have a gajillion trees now. So every room has a tree, and I do a different decoration. So that makes me happy. And
are you one of those that start decorating for Christmas before Halloween or before Thanksgiving?
No. Even one of my CSRs tried to put up a Halloween decoration yesterday. I was like, no,
not yet.
I said you could decorate for fall, not for Halloween.
It's haystacks and scarecrows right now.
Yes. So I went and picked up some fall decorations yesterday after work, and I brought it in today, and now it looks like fall at work.
What? But I hold all my decorations the same. So the Halloween and the fall are all together. So it's like, then I have to separate. Okay, this is too Halloween-y. I can't bring this out yet.
Yeah.
And so like October is when I
introduce
it to the harvest. Yeah.
The harvest box comes out, and then there's a separate box for Halloween. And so that comes out in October in addition to the harvest stuff. And then it gets pulled back.
Yeah.
Because November comes, it's like goodbye. But no, Christmas is my favorite now because of the decorations that bring me joy, make me happy. And also years ago, set the expectation with family and friends that we're not giving gifts. We'll get the same gift for everybody, and it's a simple like $5 box of chocolates.
It's so much
Everybody
easier.
Gets the same thing.
Or I just like the white elephant. Like all you have to do is buy one gift. It's easy.
Yep. And
buy something you want, because if you get stuck with it, then it brings you joy.
And it takes the stress away from the holidays, because that's what I didn't like, was that there's so much stress, there's so much pressure, and finding the perfect gift for everyone, and you spend so much money, and it takes it away from what it's really about. And so when you take away all that pressure, it's like, oh my gosh, this is a great holiday. My house looks amazing. These lights are gorgeous. I have like poinsettias everywhere, trees everywhere, and
I've never bought poinsettias, but it's because you don't have dogs.
I don't have. Well, I did.
Do you want kids?
I've always wanted kids.
Okay.
Yeah, always. But
Can I ask you another personal question?
Sure.
So today's the first time hearing about your mom. What about your dad?
So he is in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah. So he stayed in Texas when my mother and I moved up here, and I want to say it's been about like 7 or 8 years ago he moved out to Las Vegas.
Okay.
So it's kind of convenient when you go on vacation.
So you're still in
cheap.
touch with your parents?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if there was a story,
Oh, yeah. No. He's out there. So
Do you have siblings?
I have a half brother.
Okay.
Yeah, and he and his partner had a baby. His girlfriend had a baby last year. So it's the first blood nephew that I have. So I'm very excited. I have.
Do you get baby fever?
Well, I get
You're
my
like,
baby.
no.
I get my baby fever fixed because so many of my friends here have babies. So I get all the snuggles here. But yeah, he's so precious. So I haven't seen him in real life yet because of COVID, and so hopefully this December possibly.
Yeah.
But they for their reasons have to take it very seriously. So they're very serious about the quarantining before you get to see us and the baby. And
would you ever adopt?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I remember I used to say, because I was very picky with dating, so I just didn't date. I'm like, I'm good. I'm happy being by myself. And I said by age 30, if I didn't have a kid, I was going to adopt. And at 29, almost 30, I had a kid. So, or if not, I was going to adopt because I really wanted a kid that bad. I was curious.
Yeah. I have looked into it. I don't know the specifics because I didn't look into it too in depth because it's just kind of a passing thing. But it's amazing how difficult the process is and how expensive it is. So you just have to be in a place where you're ready and willing and able to make room for a life, a life in your life, because it's a lot.
Who do you want to have lunch with?
Like
dead or alive? Somebody famous?
I would prefer to have lunch with a living person. Otherwise, it would be awkward.
I mean, if you could, you know.
I know.
Well, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
You went there. She went there.
Oh gosh. I don't think that you asked this question if anybody in the podcast that I listened to. I wasn't prepared.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Somebody that
I know. I tend to ask a lot of the same questions. I should probably come up with new questions. Is that what you're calling me out on my questions right now?
I'm a preparer, so I try to prepare.
Oh, I should be more prepared. Well, I'll take any advice you have for me and more questions. What questions would you ask yourself right now?
What questions would I ask myself?
Yeah. If you were in my seat right now, what question would you ask you?
Rebecca, why are you so obsessed with your cat?
Why are you that crazy cat lady?
Oh, because she is just so precious.
What's your cat's name?
Her name is Hazel. I did adopt a cat. So circling back to the adoption thing, I did think post separation, I thought, I've always wanted a kid. Let's look at getting a kid. So I started with adoption, saw the price tag. Ooh, let's look at foster. Let's dial that back. Read about it and the risks of losing the child if the natural parent decided that they wanted the child back. You have that risk, and I wasn't in an emotionally stable place at that time to take that kind of a risk. So I looked at a dog, and it was COVID, so there were no dogs to be adopted anywhere.
That's not true, because I had puppies in COVID.
I was not trying to purchase a puppy. I was trying to adopt a puppy.
Yeah, my puppies were real expensive.
Yes. And the shelters were, thankfully, it's a great thing.
It was a great thing. Yes. The shelters were.
Thankfully, the shelters were empty. So I thought, well, a dog requires a lot of time and attention and energy as well. So, look, a cat.
So now you're the crazy cat lady. So when I see cat socks at the store, I'm getting them for you.
Meow.
Meow.
Oh, yeah. I adopted her from a loving family. They just had too busy of a house. And it just was not a good fit for the cat anymore.
Well, I'm glad you answered your question. Now we're gonna go back to my question.
Oh, and she's morbidly obese, so she's really snuggly, and she's like a dog. So we play fetch. we we run stairs in the morning and in the evening as part of her fitness plan.
I love it.
Yes. Okay. So that's
okay. So now we're gonna go back to lunch. Alive. Okay. Who would be your alive person?
My alive person that I'm going to lunch to. Oh.
Or have coffee with, or
probably coffee. That way it's less serious.
Yeah,
I feel like if
coffee, who are you gonna have tea with?
Yeah, because if it's lunch and things are awkward, then you're stuck there for a while. But if it's coffee,
you have to wait for the food to come. Good point.
Yeah. So if it's like, who am I gonna have coffee with? I want to say something, but I'm not gonna say it because it's too polarizing.
I feel like you have to say it at this point. I can always edit it out.
Okay. It would be amazing to have coffee with Trump. I think that would be amazing because...
Do you think he's going to run again?
I think he will. I don't know if it'll be 2024 because think about how many times he said he was running and he raised his hand in the past for the presidency, and it took 4 different elections for him to actually say, okay, I'm here, we're going to do it. And then he won. So I think this might still be another publicity campaign, but...
So you want to do Trump, and why?
Because I think, oh my gosh, this man has so many stories, and do I believe them all? No, but he is so entertaining. He is very intelligent. I don't care which side of the fence you're on. He's a very intelligent, very charismatic person, and I would like to ask him questions about, he had so many people against him and so many obstacles. I want to know how the heck, like, when did you sleep? How do you mentally recover from that? What is your first day after, losing the election? I know he didn't feel like he lost, so there was that whole battle, but the first day out of office, what is that like? Like, what do you do when you go from being such a polarizing person and so many people in the country and in the world having such strong opinions of you, and then you go back to your real regular life, for lack of a better term? Like, what's that like?
Would you wear your Make America Great Again hat to the coffee appointment?
I don't have one, but if I did, I would. I would. Why not? That way he would know who I was in a crowd. Because he's never met me. Like, I clearly know who he is, but I would need something to stand out. Like in a blind date when they're like, I'm wearing the red rose.
What's advice you would give your 20-year-old self that you didn't know now?
Advocate
or that
for
you didn't know
yourself.
then?
Yeah. Advocate for yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you. I always have been a very, very hard worker, and I had the mindset that
I can attest to that. You are. When you put your mind to something, you go all in. And I admire that about you so much.
Oh, thank you. I try, and it's just kind of something that has always been a part of me, and I think I get that from my mom, definitely. But I lost my train of thought. Where were we going? I was thinking about my
20-year-old self.
Oh, 20-year-old self, yes. Started thinking about my mommy and how amazing she is.
Gotta love our mamas, right?
Yes.
What do you love most about your mom?
She does not take crap from anybody. Doesn't do it. And she was a military civilian, so she worked at the chemical depot, and she's working with these really high-ranking officers and men. And I don't know if people know a lot about government jobs, but especially military civilians, it's very, very difficult to get fired. So there's a lot of people there that kind of do their own thing, and HR is not really a thing. And she just wouldn't stand for it. It didn't matter what somebody's rank was, how long they've been there. If somebody was saying or doing something that wasn't right, she was there to say, not okay, and she just got it handled. And when you're a kid, it's like, oh my gosh, you're so embarrassing. Stop. Like, why? But as an adult, it's like, oh my gosh, I want to be like you when I grow up. Like, I'm a 37-year-old woman thinking I want to be like my mom when I grow up. Like, I want to be able to say that I don't take crap from anybody. I think that's amazing. But circling back to what would I tell the 20-year-old me, just advocate for yourself, because just because you work hard and you do a good job doesn't mean that people are going to say, hey, good job, we want to give you a promotion. Or, hey, good job, we want to give you a raise. That's not how the world works. You have to always be looking for the next thing. You have to be advocating for yourself and saying, hey, you know what? I did a really good job here, and I know that I could do that job really well, and I'm going to apply for it. And apply for things that are out of your comfort zone. Because I saw so many people get promoted ahead of me because, and there's nothing wrong with men. There's nothing wrong with men. But men are braver, and they give less Fs. So if a job comes up where they can make more money, they're going to apply for it. Whereas traditionally, most women will overthink it. They will overthink it to death. Can I do it? Would I do a good job? Do I know enough for that? Instead of saying, hey, I want to apply for it, and I'm going to learn it so well when I get that job. Not if, but when I get that job, I'm going to learn it, and I'm going to be the best person at it. I don't know what it is now, but I'm going to do it, and I'm going to learn it, and I'm going to rock it. I wish I had known that then, because I love where I am now. I think I would have gotten here faster.
So did you hear that? Just go for it.
Just go
you
for it.
deserve it. If you think you can do it, learn it.
Raise your hand. Don't say yes to things that you don't want to say yes to. Say no.
Right.
But if it's something that you want, just go for it and advocate for yourself. And that goes for pay as well.
Absolutely.
Because it's still a very prevalent thing in the world. Well, in America, I shouldn't say in the world. I don't know the world, but it's a very prevalent thing here where women statistically still make less for doing the same job. And it's primarily because we don't advocate for ourselves. When a more confident person comes in and they can negotiate their pay, great, good for them. If someone came to me before and offered me a job, I was so excited to get the job and get the promotion. The pay wasn't even,
Right.
it's like, oh my gosh, you're going to pay me 50 cents more? Yes. I'm so excited. 50 cents more. Thank you. Advocate.
What's something that nobody knows about you?
I mean, I feel like I've shared a lot already.
I mean, maybe your mom knows, or maybe a couple of your girlfriends, but what's something nobody really knows that's unique?
Oh, I know. So this is very unique. Nobody knows this.
Yes.
Back when I went to Heaton Middle School, Heaton Hawks, I was a flag girl. Yes.
Flag girl.
I twirled the flag. I was in the marching band. I wore palazzo pants. Yes, the whole thing. Yep.
And what else should people know about you?
That I was not good at being a flag girl.
That's why she did not continue in high school, right?
Thankfully, that was not an option in high school, or else I probably would have continued and we'd be having a different conversation. Oh, are you liking my list?
I'm not looking at your list. How do you balance your busy lifestyle? All right, I did. You know, we're coming to the end of the podcast. I gotta, you know, when they promote themselves on social media, I really do care about the questions that people want to know. So I'm being respectful in your organized list here. Balance. I don't think we've talked about work-life balance and being so involved. How do you balance it all?
So my life is very different from most women, being that I don't have children. So all I have to care about is my very high maintenance cat. She is accustomed to a certain level of lifestyle, and I want to help her maintain that. You thought I was serious. No, you weren't even listening.
I was listening. You're a cat woman now. You're a cat lady.
So Snapchat actually gives me that suggested filter. It's really awkward and uncomfortable, but I also love it. So the work-life balance and what I've always loved is volunteering and giving back to the community. That's a piece of who I have always been, even in high school. And if there was a group that I could join, I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to learn so many different things. So that's just always been part of my DNA. As an adult, I've been fortunate enough to be able to get rid of that list, to sit on boards such as the Junior League of Pueblo and the Boys and Girls Club of Pueblo, which is amazing. And someday I do hope to rejoin them when life allows. And like I said before, I just signed up for the PCC Foundation and the Art Center Board of Directors. And
Legacy is super supportive in that.
Yes.
Like, so find an employer, because I know Legacy is like, it's almost like you have to be on a board.
You don't have to be on.
Don't have to be.
You don't have to be on a board, but it is part of our culture. We are very invested in the communities that we live in, and it's just, again, it's part of the DNA of the bank almost. Regardless of what community the bank is in, the people there are involved somehow. So it's just part of our culture. So yes, having an employer that supports that is amazing. It has opened doors for me to be able to participate in some organizations. And
she's at every gala, by the way. Legacy has a bank every different event.
We have a table or we have something. So if anybody wants to be my date, I'm always looking for a plus one. Always looking for a plus one.
I'll be your plus one. I'm a good time.
You are. You were my plus one at the President's Gala.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Was I? Oh no, I wasn't pregnant. Was I pregnant?
No,
it was pre-pregnant. What's one of your favorite memories of us? Don't laugh. It's not funny.
The one that I'm laughing about is the most recent one at the CSU President's Gala. And I was like, Jenny, you have a lipstick print on your head.
And it was Felicia Beltran.
Felicia.
She kissed me on my blonde hair, and I had red lipstick on my hair.
It was a perfectly perfect lip outline right there. And here we are at this formal event, and I'm like, let me get that for you.
Yeah, thank you. And that's what friends are for, right? To like lick it and clean you up. And at least I had a red dress on it that matched.
You did, yes. And then we got the club soda, and then we fluffed it. It was all good. But
You're so sweet.
but that one makes me laugh.
That was funny. Well, Miss Rebecca, what does the word influential mean to you?
It means that influential is inspiring people to be the best version of themselves and do the best that they can do in their situation. So just being the best you that you can be, whatever that level is, whatever the situation is, just influencing people to do the best that they can with what they have to work with. And that's the best.
I love it. That's a great answer. And I think any situation that Rebecca Diaz is put into, she makes the best of it. She truly does. I've seen it firsthand from being in junior league together. Like, you just go all in. You always put your best foot forward. And that is great advice. And you are an influential woman for always doing that yourself. So thank you again for all the work you do in our community. Thank you for your friendship. And I'm just so proud of you. And I'm excited for your 2022 year of leveling up.
Let's level it up.
I love it. Well, that's a wrap on the Influential Women Podcast. Miss Rebecca Diaz, everybody.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.